Antoine, a Corsican who has not lived on his native island for a long time, brings his 17-year-old daughter Luna, as well as his best friend Laurent and his 18-year-old daughter Maria to the family nest in the summer. For young girls, such a trip does not promise a lot of fun. And when the girls realize that in Corsica you can either be bored at home, or swim and have fun at night beach discos, they are going in search of men's company. Before taking time off from her father's for a party, Marie says she wants to start dating a guy during the summer holidays. And if it's quite normal for Maria to have a short romance, then for Luna this is not at all to her liking. Luna says that she would like to really fall in love with a beautiful, courageous, intelligent man and live with him all her life.
Girls, you're not going to a club, I hope.
No, we're not going to a club.
See to it that half of the second we're at home.
Well, that's it, bye.
Your dad is really cool.
But yours is not, such a bore.
While the girls, having famously deceived their fathers, went to a party at the club, saying at the same time that they were going to the beach to friends, Laurent tells Antoine that he needs to talk about sex with his daughter, about methods of contraception and everything related to it. Antoine thinks this is too much and he puts this option on his wife, Luna's mother, who, by the way, wants to file for divorce for a long time, because their marriage has been over for a long time, and generally considers the conversation inappropriate, since he sincerely believes that Luna is still a child, despite the fact that she is already 17 years old.
Well, yes, it's worse now.
Laurent tells a friend that he regrets that he got divorced, how he built relationships all his life and ended up alone. All he has left is his beautiful daughter Marie, who is already 18, and who may soon have her own family. After a while, Antoine begins to worry a lot about the girls who did not return on time, and bad thoughts begin to visit him. Before they finally lose their temper, Moon Marie appears in a drunken state.
No, we didn't drink a drop.
Drinking?
No. Look, I'm sober.
The next day they all go on a tour of the canyon together. At some point, while Antoine is busy figuring things out with his wife on the phone, Luna bares her breasts in order to attract Laurent's attention. He, in turn, realizes that an awkward moment has occurred, and pretends that he did not notice anything. Next, we see that in the head of a young girl, feelings for her father's friend are definitely maturing.
Laurent, are you letting Marie go for a walk? Look at her, she's already grown up.
In the evening, Maria asks to go to the party again, and Laurent gives Marie the go-ahead without any problems, while Antoine is very strict with his daughter. A little later, Laurent notices the girl with whom Antoine used to kneel, and tells Tom not to waste time. His wife is unlikely to come anyway, and he has a good chance. Now Antoine changes his mind and lets Luna go with Marie, and also insists that Ballarin went with them and looked after the girls. At the beach disco, nothing promises Laurent a pleasant pastime. However, after a while, a pretty woman meets him.
And how much is the security?
Are you interested in that?
Luna notices this and begins to show signs of jealousy. She tells Marie that an old woman is hitting on her father. She asks her friend to cover her up to go to spend the night with a guy, and is very surprised that Luna has something to do with her father. Jealousy completely consumes the girl, and she asks Laurent to leave, arguing that she felt bad.
Look, there they are digging. These stinking creatures, I would kill them.
A little later, Laurent allows the girl to drink a little, and they go dancing together, after which Luna says she wants to go to the beach for a swim. At some point, the girl just starts to undress completely and calls her friend's father into the water, insisting that he completely undress. Laurent understands that what is happening now is just drain the oil, put out the light, and tries to explain to the moon that what she is doing goes beyond all limits. However, after a while, Laurent succumbs to the temptation and masterful seduction of a young girl.
How was the evening? The party? You mean the party? Boring. Just sucks, really.
From that moment on, Laurent begins to realize that he made a huge mistake and tries in every way to avoid his friend's daughter. Laurent's astute daughter Marie immediately guesses what happened after she sees the moon in her father's underpants, which she gave him earlier.
Oh, are these Dad's? I didn't know. I found it in your things. Put some cream on me, please.
Why me? Did you ask your dad? Well, let me read it.
Luna, in love with her father's friend, tries in every possible way to show more and more interest in him. Adding fuel to the fire is the fact that Antoine constantly asks Laurent to look after his daughter, then to help her with something. At some point, Laurent tries to tell a friend about his intimate relationship with his daughter, but does not dare.
You're a real friend.
Marie, knowing about her father and the moon, begins to leave every night at a party, refusing to inform her father, because she understands that he will not be able to object to her. All this intimate procession comes to the point that Luna comes to Laurent's room at night and says she will sleep with him, and when he refuses, she just starts screaming and says she will tell her father everything. As a result, the moon gets its way.
More.
I love you. Everything?
And I love you.
An attempt to explain to his recently best friend his sincere feelings for Marie's father leads to nothing. Antoine begins to notice that Maria has changed her behavior dramatically and has become rude to him, as well as to her father. He tries to find out what happened, but Marie doesn't really say anything, just asks to tell her father that he is a scoundrel. A little later, after dinner, Marie sees Luna flirting with his father. Unable to stand it, she begins to ask his girlfriend's father about Mandina and asks him to invite her to visit them in Corsica, causing intense jealousy in the moon.
Who is this, Flop?
Calm down and don't interfere in other people's affairs.
Luna begins to realize that she is unhappy. She has truly fallen in love and cannot bear the fact that love is not mutual. A little later, she pours out her soul to her father. She says that she is in love with a man who is much older than her, or rather the age of her father. The conversation leads to a serious quarrel, in which Luna tells her father that he is a chauvinist, thinks only of himself, and that's why his mother leaves him. And here Antoine is completely blown away.
I'll kill him. I'll find him. Don't worry. Trust me, I'll find him.
Now, for Antoine, the mission of his life is to search for the scoundrel who, in his opinion, used his daughter. And the funny thing is that he asks Laurent, as his best friend, to help him find out who did it. An attempt to find out who this bastard is from Marie was unsuccessful. However, she says that Luna has a phone, and maybe he should check it out. But of course he can't find the password to his daughter's phone.
Damn it. I don't understand. Calm down, it's the holidays. What are you doing? What? Before that?
Antoine sees that Luna gets along well with his friend and asks Laurent to go for a walk with his daughter in the evening and even get her drunk to get all the information out of her. Laurent tries to explain to Luna over dinner at a restaurant that things are going too far. The father seriously intends to destroy the man who slept with his daughter. Luna says she will turn 18 soon and they won't have any problems. To which Laurent says that she is her father's daughter and he is his best friend. Then it becomes clear that the moon will stop at nothing. And for the gaze of the evening, there are photos that the moon has started to put on Facebook.
Well? Okay, put the gun down. Relax.
Antoine asks Laurent if he has learned anything, but he can't really answer anything and says that he only has clues, more about which, most likely, you can find out from the DJ from the party.
This is a DJ.
That brute.
I didn't say it was him.
You're right. It's him. Having failed to stop his best friend, it comes to a fight, in which it turns out that the DJ is non-traditional.
You're completely crazy, aren't you? Yes, you're right. I'm completely off the rails.
After the fathers returned home, Antoine, in a hurry, deciding that wild boars were climbing in the bushes again, accidentally shot at the neighbor's dog. The next morning, Antoine asks his friend for forgiveness and repents that he behaved like a madman, and Laurent tries to apologize to his daughter, that he feels guilty and he is very sorry. However, Marie doesn't want to listen to him.
You know.
Don't touch me. Get out.
In the evening, the fathers go hunting, where, with great difficulty, Laurent still admits to Antoine that it was him. The conversation ends with a fight and a big quarrel between two friends. Antoine leaves Laurent and goes home alone. Meanwhile, Luna tells Marie that she is to blame for everything and her father has absolutely nothing to do with it. Luna sincerely asks for forgiveness, and having reconciled, the girls go for a walk. After some time, Laurent returns home on foot. He feels worthless, feels guilty, and understands that most likely Antoine will never forgive him. He is packing his things in the hope of waiting for his daughter to leave as soon as possible. However, the next morning, when Luna and Marie return, they see their battered fathers and ask what happened. To which Antoine replies, "We were just waiting for you." Which hints to us that Antoine has forgiven his friend. How the relationship between Luna and Laurent will develop further, we will never know. The result is a rather curious tragicomic film, the value of which is not so much in how much it captivates and entertains us, as in how long the questions are posed to them the audience cannot get out of their heads. Take, for example, his main moral dilemma. Does a high school student have the right to force herself into bed with her father's friend, and does a man who is almost her uncle have the right to accept this gift? Instinctively we feel that something is wrong here, but what exactly? And by what moral standards to evaluate these actions? I am deeply convinced that these and other problems that the tape touches on will give you a lot of material for reasoning about yourself and for discussions with friends. If we talk about the age of the main character, then you can perfectly enter the actor Rambo here again and speculate on this topic. 17 years of seriousness does not suit, and one evening, leave your full glasses.
At the age of 17, seriousness does not suit. It's time to walk under the lime trees. This is not just a poem about meeting some person. It's like a diagnosis of some kind. Some youthful dreams of love.
An intemperance in love when you're young. Because love itself leads to intemperance. You're just losing your head. When you're 17, you can fall in love just for the school holidays, so that when you return to school, there will be something to tell about. About how you fell in love or how wonderful your summer was.
He reminds us that this is an adventure for a couple of months, and at the end you're still left alone.
When you are 17 years old, often everything is perceived easily, naturally. It seems that the whole world is in your hands, until you encounter some kind of crazy infatuation and start building castles in the air, in which it is often necessary to crumble under the yoke of real life.
But if so, then I will always be unhappy.
There's nothing you can do about it.
You need to live in such a way that you have something to remember before you die.
In general, there are enough temptations in our life. When two adults are attracted to each other, including sexually, it is impossible not to succumb to this feeling and not to surrender to it completely. But if the 17-year-old Moon lived in the moment of falling in love, then she only lived in the moment of desire. Her youth seemed to challenge his maturity, and he accepted this challenge, enjoying what her youth gave him. But after bitterly regretted,
I think it's time to tell everyone about our love.
I don't love you, Luna.
But you loved me on the beach.
A huge thing happened. No, really?
Really,
When will we do it again?
of course, such a love, as Luna had for Laurent, can find reciprocity and, in general, have a happy development, and sometimes it just comes to a dead end or becomes a temporary clouding. We also cannot claim that the Moon had just such a turbidity, because we do not know how the further relations between the main characters will develop, since the finale of the film remained open. The hardships of temptation have cast their shadow on the long strong friendship of Antoine and Laurent, practically crossing it out. Was it worth going along with your desires for this? Everyone will answer this question in their own way. But from the point of view of the perception of the film itself as a whole, the first time I watched this picture in the cinema, and I'll tell you what, the swollen corn, which is called popcorn, was consumed furiously from all sides, forming slurping sounds in the dark of the cinema under the purring hooting of young couples during erotic scenes.